Toastmasters. I hereby call this meeting of Lake Mary Toastmasters Club 6440 to order. Before we begin, please silence your cell phones. I would like to ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. Our club mission is to provide a supportive learning environment through which members feel empowered to become better public speakers by developing their competent communication and leadership skills. This morning I would like to introduce our Toastmaster, Mr. Sam Bailey.
Well, good morning, everyone. How are we doing today?
Good.
Excellent. I would like you to take one and pass it down. While we are doing this, I would like you to note a few changes on the agenda.
Already?
Yes. But I would like to apologize in advance. So we have, yes, that would be a big change in the agenda. We have one planned speaker today. And before we continue with this, I would like to say that if we are unwilling to talk about sex, political, or religion in Toastmasters, then where are we going to speak at all? And if you are afraid to speak about it, even though you wish to, if you don't want to, that's fine. But if you are afraid to talk about any of those, or Androids versus iPhones,
And talk about religion.
and religion, then your First Amendment socially has been killed. And I would like to help break that stigma today. So we have our first planned speaker, but then we're also going to have a debate with our other two planned speakers. So I'll be Mr. Gene and Mr. Bob. The reason in which I have not informed you of this up till this point is because sometimes you will be speaking on things in which you were not planning to speak on. And finally, we will have double the amount of table topics today. I look forward to this meeting. I'm looking forward to hearing more discussion aside from deleting emails and our favorite kitty cats, because this is supposed to be a room of leaders and intellectual people. And that's what I'm hoping to pull out of today's meeting. So with that in mind,
Exciting.
So Gene doesn't have a speaker? I thought he did. You do have a
Did
speaker?
Bob, were you aware of this?
No.
So for our first speaker,
Sam,
sir.
Bob is not aware of
He
what
was a
you left.
speaker,
Oh, he was a speaker?
and he,
Yes.
that's what
Yes.
changed.
Well, I'm not a speaker.
Yeah.
You're not a
he was
speaker.
fine,
Yes,
yeah.
sir, you had text me. Would you like to forego this? It is perfectly okay if you
No,
do.
I have comments that can substitute for speech.
Okay.
It's most unusual.
Okay.
So he has to speak.
And Gene,
For both of you do have the speeches today, but I would like to go through with this if we can.
Do it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. And for our first speaker is actually not the title that we had. It is Making or Breaking a Horse. But with that, please help me welcome Miss Stacy. Oh, no. Oh, technical. Oh, I apologize. Y'all got me all flustered with your looks that you have going on. For our first technical table, please give us our grammarian, Miss Lori Richards.
Hey, Lord.
Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. I am the grammarian today, and as my function, in my function as grammarian, I have a
Yes.
And the word of the day that I chose was apathetic, which means having or showing little or no emotion, not interested or concerned. I can't see that even though I made it in this really huge font.
I promise it's on the side as well.
Thank you. Each member, when called upon to speak, is encouraged to use the word of the day, and other members may gently rap on the table when they hear the member use a word. In addition, I'll be listening to any errors in grammar, excellent use excellent word selection, and noting any colorful thoughts or phrases that anyone might use. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, today's conversation will be anything but apathetic. Up next, we have our on counter, Mr. Marty Simon.
Yay, Marty!
All right, Marty.
As our counter, it is my function to listen for the use of filler words such as you know, so, okay, and other audible pauses as fillers. I will be noting if members perform any double clutches, that was an example, which means to say things twice, such as this means, or something like that. Finally, I'll include things which might be distracting, such as present my report at the end of the session.
Thank you. And finally, but not least, our timer, Mr. Ernst.
Good morning, Mr. Toastmaster, honored guests, and members. It gives me a great pleasure to share with you the task of the timer. The function is to time the speakers, evaluators, and table topic participants to ensure they meet the timing requirements. I will demonstrate the timing light. These are timing lights, which will be displayed as follows. Speakers, 5-minute green, 6-minute yellow, 7-minute red. 4 table topics, 30-minute, 30-second green, 45-second yellow, 1-minute red. Evaluators, 2-minute green, 2.5-minute yellow, and 3-minute red. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you. And also for the debate segment, I would like to treat them as table topics for our timing requirements. If we can do that, Mr. Ernst.
I'm sorry, say it again?
I would like to,
Because
I'm sorry?
Does that mean I'm evaluating anything?
You can evaluate the debate as you will. You can provide personal feedback on
Is
that.
that a project for Jean?
Yeah, Jim, are you just doing your speech or are you tag teaming?
I'm referring to the Toastmasters.
Yes.
Yeah, he had,
So I'll go ahead and I'll break it down. I completely topsy-turvied it, and I'm changing up the meeting. It's the best way we can describe it. I apologize to our speakers for it, but this is an opportunity to be able to enhance those skills because sometimes we will go into situations expecting one thing, but having to speak on something completely different. So it provides that curveball of I wasn't planning on speaking, or I was planning on speaking on something else. So that's the types of thing I would also like to hit on today. So we will treat the debate with the questions as table topics with 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and 1 minute.
All right,
I
back
do
them
look
up.
forward to hearing your speech in the future.
Well, it's fine.
Yes. However, we do actually have one speech that is planned today with Makers Faire Adventures. Please help me welcome Miss Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
I have no idea when you're saying it's not.
I give it.
traffic.
Somebody down there said cashews.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
As some of you are wondering, I am passing out something, it's going to be fun to do. My title today is Makers Faire Adventures. So what I'm passing around now are shots, so just take one, pass it down. And shots. Holes in the cone.
he still needs one.
So let me explain a little bit about what a Makers Faire is. That is an event where a bunch of makers bring things for kids to make and take. So for 2 weekends, I have done a Makers Faire with a friend of mine who's an engineer at Harris. So what she made were these little LED lanterns. So today what I'm going to do is teach you how to make one of these lanterns. And you are going to be able to take it home with you and enjoy it. the Makers Faire, what I really liked about those is because the kids actually got to learn, and one of the highlights I got to do is show these kids, and I mean, some of them are maybe about that big. And they were able to put these little lanterns together with what the directions I'm giving you today. So what I'm going to have you do today is go ahead, open the little packet of little plastic bag and dump it out.
Do we need 2 cups or 1 cup?
Just one.
How many packets do you have?
All right. So you won't need the directions because I'm going to tell you how to make this. All right. So what you're going to see is you're going to see the little battery, plus the LED light, and some sticky tack, which is the blue little tack in there. So what you're going to do first is go ahead and take out the battery out of the little bag. All right, so once you have the battery out of the bag, you're going to take your battery and the LED light, and you're going to slide it onto the battery. So one side's going to turn it on, and if it doesn't turn on, just turn the battery around. And so once you have the battery, once you have the light on, go ahead and take the tape that are spread around each table, and take the battery and the light together.
The light will never get turned on.
You can always take it apart. All right, so once you have the battery and the light taped, you can set that down for a few minutes.
2 minutes, I'm timing it, okay? Should I exceed a few
All right.
minutes?
Anybody need to?
So what you're going to do now is take your little blue sticky tack and peel the 2 pieces of plastic off. Make sure you get it both pieces or else it's not going to be sticky.
Okay.
So when you've got the 2 pieces of plastic off, you're going to just squish it together.
Do you have any extra bags?
Yes.
We're missing blue tape. Sticky tape.
So,
Dropped it.
oh, the sticky?
The sticky.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ah, the tack.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
What do I take it out? Off?
Okay, so now that you have rolled up the sticky tack, you're going to take the cup and you're going to stick it in the bottom of the cup. And you want to kind of squish it down a little bit. So it kind of looks like this. Okay. And once that is done, you're going to take your light and the battery with the light facing towards the ceiling. You're going to stick it onto the blue sticky tack. So then you have a little lantern. Huh?
It's upside down.
No,
Got a
it's
night
upside
light. Oh, really?
Awesome, yeah. Yes. Right.
Yes, except it's blue, that's not a good color.
Good for your eyes.
And one of the challenges at the Makers Faire was some of the kids had to make a on and off switch. And that was a challenge because they got a 3D printed little prize. And what they had to do was discover how to make an on and off switch using only what they had in the bag. And extra tape, if there was extra tape. And it's amazing what these little kids could come up with. And most of the time, the parents did not help them with this. The parents made them figure it out, and these kids were really, really smart and were able to figure it out. So I got a lot of enjoyment doing this Makers Faire because I got to play all day with kids, and this is fun. So thanks for taking the time and letting me show you how to make these little LED lanterns. These are yours to keep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stacy. 1 minute on the clock.
Just pull it away from the battery.
The guiding light. Yeah. Your boy, your mom, she your mom.
My black mom, she'd be my Hawaiian mom. It'll be a Hawaiian punch in a second.
That's right.
Hawaiian punch.
I guess it's okay.
6 minutes and 2 seconds. Actually, it was like 4, 5, 5, 5, 9, 9. So I had to ask Marty whether she finished it. Oh, 2 seconds.
Close to a minute.
20 minutes.
That's close to a minute.
Yeah.
All right. No, you're good.
Thank you. Time is up. Now we will be going on to the debate portion of our meeting. So could you please help me welcome Bob and Jean up to the front of the stage. Alright, first and foremost, I'll pull this one back.
I first need to explain to Toastmasters on a crisis that I'm not apathetic about. I'm taking this program with Toastmasters so I can be a better speaker when I'm president of Rotary next year. However, there's a company called Salesforce.com, a multi-billion-dollar company, and my son is an executive in sales with that company. And tonight, they're doing a presentation for 170 of their executives at a hotel in New York City. They asked all the executives, does anybody have a parent who has sales experience? So my son said, yeah, my father's this, this, and this. And they said, okay, he's our speaker. And he said, so you're speaking tonight in a ballroom to 170 sales executives in New York City. I said, how am I getting there? He said, well, we have a plane scheduled for you. You have your room scheduled, your meals are scheduled. So be at the top of your game. So I'm scared shitless. As long as there's no cameras there, I don't do any double clutches, I don't do lip smacks. It's like, whoa, so your first class, your first program that I took, I'm pushing this to the limit. And if this works out tonight, I'm all Toastmasters, so.
Alrighty, gentlemen. So I do not know your political parties. If we both end up being on the same party, then one of you, I'll randomly pick it just out of number one in my head, and one of you will be defending your opposing candidate. So good luck on that one. So I hope you are on opposing sides. I really do. This way it'll be easier
Are we
conversation.
supposed to shake hands before I intellectually slay?
Interesting.
I don't want you walking behind me while I'm speaking.
Alrighty, since we have such confidence over here, who are you voting for? But
That's a debate?
hold on, why would you vote for the other candidate? And then you will be able to recant on his statements as we go along. Please continue.
So I'm to tell you who I'm voting for,
But why you should vote for the other person?
but why I should vote for the other person.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, actually, well, I planned today to vote for Kerri Johnson, the Libertarian candidate. Okay, yeah, we've already got some. Why you should vote for the other candidate or another candidate?
Another candidate. of your
Another
choice at this
candidate.
point.
Well, there were multiple good reasons to vote for one of the other candidates, reasons which I have been inundated with over the last few months, having been exposed to television and people and Facebook feeds and whatnot. One good reason to vote for Mr. Donald Trump is that if you believe that the current political system is entirely corrupt and unfixable, then you might as well burn it down and just invite the most mischievous guy into the room and just see what happens. And I have some respect for that point of view. I think it's fine. I don't think it's a responsible point of view, and so therefore I won't be voting for him. But I have some respect for that, and there are people who I respect who are going to vote for him. So I take that a little bit seriously, not hugely seriously. A good reason to vote for Hillary Clinton would be that if you think that enormous experience in the political realm is of value, and understanding of politics over decades of experience is a good thing, that would be a good reason to vote for her.
Excellent.
All right.
Same question for you.
If Gary Johnson wins, he won't be around because they've sent him to Aleppo.
Where is Aleppo?
Where is Aleppo?
Aleppo movement.
Neither does he.
So, why would I vote for Donald Trump?
Who are you voting for, and why would you vote for a different candidate?
I'm voting for Hillary as the best of the worst. I would vote for Donald Trump because I believe that he's going to make everything great again. It's going to be terrific, fantastic, wonderful. We have no friggin' idea what he's talking about. He's going to be really, really good at it, and he has tremendous connections. If he's not in jail because of his university, then it'll be terrific. Hillary, on the other hand, is a questionable candidate because she may have twisted the facts a little bit. However, her twisting of the facts is just tiny compared to what Donald Trump is. They say the fact checkers have done 3 times more fact checking to find out that Trump is lying when he speaks. But I would vote for Trump because his wife is beautiful. His daughter is terrific. In fact, he would be dating her if he wasn't her father. And I think that what I would really like to see is a jail cell with Hillary and Donald stuck together for the rest of their lives in that one cell and let them work it out. Because he's been known to be underhanded. Hey, it's locker room talk, although he's 56. And Hillary, on the other hand, has had a problem with the Monica Lewinsky situation, and which I can't go into in this forum.
Thank you.
You want more?
No. That was excellent. In timer, please, for the things, keep it at the time of table topics. Just
Time
for.
on this table
That
topic.
is
Responses.
So,
Yeah, minute and a
yes,
half.
about a minute for each speaker, please.
And if they go over, just interrupt the hell out of them.
So what is the 6 and 7 minutes that you do here?
Don't
For
worry
the whole
about that.
thing. That's for the whole thing.
So I only have one timer, so,
Okay. Alrighty, and for the next question as well, and of course you'll be able to.
wait a minute, she's
taking care of it.
I have to change the thing so it doesn't, how do I do it so it doesn't, keep
Somebody
turning off?
give him an iPhone.
Well, why do you
We haven't
really say
changed
it's
that.
going
No,
to?
because it keeps refreshing, it keeps knocking.
There we go.
Okay, there you go.
Excellent, are we ready?
Ready.
Yes.
Beautiful.
I know this is complicated, but are we good now?
Alrighty, Mr. Bob, how would your candidate improve the economy?
Okay, she is reducing the taxes on the middle class and increasing the taxes on the upper class because they are getting too much money for their job. It's paid for performance and they're overcompensated. So if she can take some more money for taxes and put it into the middle class so they can develop new businesses or expand their existing businesses, it'll be wonderful for everybody.
Excellent. How would, yes, definitely, alright. How would your candidate improve the economy?
So I believe the overall platform of the libertarian party to be good for the economy because it limits government involvement and would allow more free enterprise to contribute to the economy.
Excellent, and we got a little more for it as well. Still waiting for those cards.
No, that's
He's like, all right, that's another card. Yes, sir.
You have a minute and a half, not 20 seconds for reply. Is
Yes,
that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I just wanted to let everybody know.
All right, so for this next
Yeah, they have a
one,
minute.
you
I thought a
need to
minute
give
and a
me
half.
longer responses. Which, you're up next. Is your candidate foreign policies what's best for the country?
no. Okay, so has a noted ignorance of foreign policy issues. And I don't think that's ideal, but on the note of voting for the least worst candidate, I am still behind that candidate. I would actually like to see us have less involvement in foreign affairs. I do think that if Gary Johnson's not going to be elected, but if he were to be elected, he would have to lean on trusted folks in the cabinet to advise him on foreign policy issues.
Mr. Timer, how are we doing?
35 seconds.
35. All right, you're golden. Thank you. I'll take it. Go ahead.
All right.
The first one. All righty, Mr. Bob. How is your candidate's foreign policies what's best for the nation?
Hillary's had 30 years of government experience in different capacities, so she knows the system very well, and I think she'll apply it very well. If you take her emails, which are questionable, but the Republicans have spent over $500 million and gotten us how many hours trying to prove that she is illegitimate, that they've not been successful. So because of her standing in politics, world leaders respect her. And at the same token, they are scared to death that Donald Trump could be our president because nobody knows what he's going to do. So I would say that Hillary is the one who, what was that question?
Foreign policies.
Yeah, she knows, she's been around, she's given talks and met with leaders from 150 different countries. Donald has, well, he's been to Russia, I know, to make some friends. And I think that's the extent of his foreign policy, so Hillary is the one.
All right, and for our final question, explain why your candidate is the best fit for our nation. You had the first one right last time.
Nobody can defend that right now.
No one can, but that's why it's such a great question. If we're going to be voting for these people, then we should at least be able to give some form of answer.
Can I say something? We are exceeding our time limit for 8 minutes. Is that okay?
That's okay. We have the table topics listed for the 8 minutes and then general evaluation.
Okay.
at
Just wanted
10.
to let you know. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. I appreciate you.
Traveling through Italy and France, talking to people about the elections a couple of months ago, they were all horrified at the thought that Donald Trump could be president because he's such a wild card and unknown. Who knows? He might be good, he might not be good, but nobody knows. The stock market took a giant jump yesterday when they figured out that Hillary wasn't going to be indicted based on the new emails. So, the stock market and the American economy is based now upon what Hillary might be doing as president, and they're afraid of the unknown of what Donald Trump could be doing. So I'm with Hillary because she has the knowledge, experience, not always the greatest common sense, but compared to her opponent, she's light years ahead. We can trust what she might do or might not do. Nobody has any idea what Trump would do, and he has no knowledge and no experience about politics whatsoever. But he has some interesting advisors. Unfortunately, his number one advisor was the guy who was so promoting the KKK, and he's anti-minority, he's anti-black, he's anti-Jew, and yet he's running Donald Trump's campaign.
Fact checker.
Fact checker. Fact checker.
Thank you. And for the sake of time, why is your candidate the best fit for the nation?
My candidate is not going to be elected. Too worried about that. I'm voting with support for a third party because I believe our two-party system is bad for the country overall. And in fact, we're in danger, I think, of having a one-party system because the Republicans are doing their best to get Hillary elected this year. Their own system. And so I think the reason my candidate is a good selection is that I think the Libertarian Party has the right idea. And I would like to see reform of both the Democratic and Republican parties to be stronger and better, have better candidates next time.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate you working with us this morning. Great job. Go ahead and put 1 minute on the clock.
Thanks for relevance.
For your evaluations, you could maybe put down some of the key points, things that you liked about the topic, anything such like that. Thank you, Mr. Timer. Next up, we are going to the ad-lib portion of our meeting. On top of everything we already did, we are moving to table topics. Please help me welcome Mr. Shayne.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Yes. All right, in honor of Election Day and the debate we just witnessed, I have some fun questions for the group. We're going to get to know each other a little bit. So, I would like to know what the top 3 issues that influence your choice this election season have been. Kerri.
The top 3 issues for me typically are our economy and probably immigration and what we do, like not really the military, but what foreign affairs, yeah. But really, it's mostly the number one thing by far is the economy.
Okay.
Our finances and the fact that we are trillions of dollars in debt is a problem. So,
Thank you. With this year's candidates falling a tad short of the dignity and poise of what we should be able to expect from leadership, it's been suggested that most voters are not voting for a candidate, but rather against a specific candidate. Some of the comparisons being choose the top socket or the bottom socket. Would you rather have a herpy on your lip or your private?
You know who have that question?
No, I I would like to know whether or not you are voting for a candidate specifically and looking forward to voting for that candidate, or if you are voting against a candidate, and I would like you to make a creative comparison for me. Stephen Morgan.
Mr. Table Topics Master, for those who have bothered to figure out my personality, what lies at the core, or if you've even just looked at my Facebook page at the info, my political view leaning is anti-authoritarian. So to make it very clear, if you're going to walk up and tell me, do that, I'm going to say, why? If God comes down and asks me, or tells me to go do that, I'm going to ask why. I need a reason and an understanding. I'm voting against. Donald Trump is specifically an authoritarian personality. And everything he's done is in an authoritarian mindset. The idea that you can go around and say that things are this way because I want them to be, when the fact is that regardless of what your opinions are, the vast majority of the people are going to disagree with you. And we have to be able to work in a diverse community in order for this country to work, in order for society to work. And nothing that he can possibly do within that approach is going to make things better in any possible way. Maybe for him, but not for everyone, and not for the country as a whole, not for the world as a whole. And the possibility and the history that is shown throughout our history on the planet, I know.
It's red, it's red. He's on a roll, let him go.
When you let the authoritarian mindset take control, things can spiral out of control disastrously, as has been proved, and many lives have been lost in many wars over that time. I do not want my son to be dragged into that kind of a war, which is what is the most likely outcome of that approach. So I will vote against it in any possible way that I can, because I think that is what we need to do for our own posterity. Mr. Tabletop.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that creative comparison. I'll give you that. All right. Timer, don't start the time when I choose the speaker, because there's a follow-up. So, Teryl.
Take a deep breath.
Teryl, truth or dare?
Follow-up, great.
Truth or dare?
Dare.
All right. I dare you to say 3 qualities that you appreciate about the candidate you're not voting for. They can't be the kind of response Bob gave. They have to actually be real qualities. 3 qualities you appreciate about the candidate you're not voting for.
That I'm not voting
See
for.
how I think the truth was going to get you the same question.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, say it again. 3 qualities the candidate I'm not voting for.
3 qualities you appreciate about the candidate you're not voting for.
Well, there are several candidates I'm not voting for.
Well, there's 2 main.
Sorry, Gary.
Oh, I'm out of
No, we're
time.
going.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master. Sarcastically. So the characteristics that I admire in the candidates who are running for office, who I did not cast my vote for, include their extensive knowledge of foreign affairs, their focus on jobs, and their, I guess, their viewpoint on free trade. So those are the characteristics of the candidates that I'm not voting for, or that I didn't vote for when I cast my vote.
Great. Thank you. Last question. This was actually the truth. When you see an article or video that will take you longer than a few seconds to view or read, and it is against the candidate of your choosing, do you bother to take the time to read or view that material? Rich Mako.
Can you repeat the question, Mr. Tabletop?
Yes. When you see an article or a video that's going to take you longer than a few seconds to consume, and its content is pitted against the candidate of your choosing, do you bother to take the time to read or view that material?
Thank you, Mr. Tabletop Master. Yes, I do. Because...
This is a truth question.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I do, because I'll be honest, I was struggling a lot during this election. I was actually considering not to vote. What I've learned in this election is people usually have a belief, and they form their evidence around that belief. What I like to do personally is, I like to observe evidence, and then create my beliefs on the evidence. So, I might not be for that candidate, but I want to hear both sides of the story so I can form my beliefs. And the only way to do that is to see both sides of the equation. So to answer your question, yes, I do watch the video for and against both candidates. Mr. Tabletop Master.
Thank you.
Next, we will be going to the educational portion of the meeting.
We got educated today
Oh,
already.
yes, you did. So for the first speaker, we'll do the traditional, and then general evaluator, yes. Come on up. That's all I got for you.
Thank you, Samuel.
You're
Interesting thing,
That's all right.
interesting way to handle the meeting. We're going to start right into our general evaluation of the meeting. An interesting way and a twist to the theme. Thank you, Samuel. You certainly kept it entertained. It was also very pertinent to today's election day. For our first evaluation of our first speaker, please welcome to the lectern Mr. Gus Davies.
Madam General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and our guest, and especially to my friend here, Stacy. Stacy is working on, she finished her CC, she's now in the advanced, she's working on this manual, which is Speaking to Inform. And today she was doing her first project in Speaking to Inform. And what it says here about this project is that give a speech that you will give some information. Select new and useful information for presentation to the audience. I think you did that. Organize the information for easy, understandable, and retention. Present the information in a way that will help motivate the audience to learn. Looking at this, you did a great show and tell. Everybody raise up your lights, please. Raise up your lights. Yes. What I like about the Makers Fair, you came up here without objective to tell us what you are going to do. We're going to do this slide to give us a little bit of a background where you have done this before. Then you went step by step to present and gave us the plus and minus, and everybody got engaged in the activity. Empty the packet, you gave that step, pass out the cups, and we take the battery and put the lights on it, and you did very well, so we can all bring light into the room. There was nothing actually what I saw in the beginning that was going to distract, except when you, this is my suggestion, you went around and passed out those little slips. That way you were losing time right there, so I would suggest you give it to somebody at the end of the room and they can pass it out, and give the instruction, do not open it until I tell you to do so, like we do with the little kid. That's a suggestion that you'll be able to change the next time. Looking at what you did, you gave us something new. It was educational. It was enjoyable. Did you not enjoy doing that?
Yes.
Some of you are going to use this as night lights, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, with the blue. You also organized, you repeated the instructions step by step. That was very helpful. In the evaluation here, answered most of that question. I like the structure. You explained, you went step by step, and we're putting things together. This was a very great opportunity for you to continue with your skills in speaking and own the room. I've seen the great improvement. I've seen you speak here. I've seen you speak at your place of work. Now you're making those improvements that this is a safe place in Toastmasters. You can start and make mistakes, but you can definitely be very, very productive. And I think you've gone past in Toastmasters, you're no longer apathetic.
Oh.
Madam Chair. Gotta get it in.
That evaluation was not apathetic.
Yeah, you brought me
All right. I'm going to invite Kerri Bird here. How she's going to evaluate.
It's
gonna be interesting. Well, this is an interesting meeting, so we like this whole meeting.
Well, I can't really do an evaluation
Build it up
right.
like that.
It'll be interesting to hear your feedback on the format of which the second speech debate was done. Welcome, Kerri Bird.
General evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters. I'm not really sure what to say about our debate. It was totally threw me off. It had to have thrown Jean especially, who had a prepared speech, and Bob, who just got thrown up here.
He's speaking tonight.
Who's trying to get prepared for his speech tonight. But it was interesting and fascinating that, especially since today is our election day and we have no idea what we're going to end up with tomorrow. But kind of how I feel about that, everything that's going on. I liked it. I think it may have been better had you let them know ahead of time that you were going to do that, so that they could have been a little bit more prepared of just to know that they were going to be up here speaking about their candidates. That would be really the biggest thing about the debate, is that your participants didn't know anything about it, and that you totally changed that, especially on Jean, who had a prepared speech. That's really about all I have to say.
All right, let me go over my general thoughts. The meeting was really set up well, and I'll get to the technical table in a moment. Thank you, Stacy. You're always here early to prepare the room, and this is a new format, kind of a V shape. So I think we got more people in here, much more space on the sides for people to get in and out. We thought it worked out really well. Samuel, thank you for being the Toastmaster. Well thought out, even though some of the audience and participants didn't know. I will caution you on that. You had professional gentlemen that got up here and participated. And this is a supportive environment. I would caution about that, because if you didn't have that and you brought somebody that absolutely was petrified, you could have put them in a really bad place, because it would have felt like they forced up here, and they could have really been uncomfortable. So something to think about. Also, Gene's on fire with his speeches. He might have a plan that's getting to a certain pace, and he planned to give his speech. So you threw him off. He was a good sport about it, but again, caution to prepare in advance and let people know. Bob, congratulations about your speech that that is huge. And I think all right, let's get to our technical table. How did we do on our ahs and ums, especially in this type of meeting format, Mr. Marty?
Madam General Evaluator, I do have a bit of apathy for the format. I do have quite a bit of empathy for participants. Stacy, 7 so's, 1 double clutch, 2 hands. Samuel, clean.
Wow. I'll take it.
Gloria, double clutch, somewhere in there. Ernst, clean.
Yes.
Bob and Jean, I'm so sorry to do this. Bob had 7 ums and ers, 4 so's, 1 double clutch, and 4 lip smacks. Jean, 11 ums, 2 so's, 1 double clutch. Shayne, 1 1 so. Kerri, 3 ums, 1 butt, 2 double clutch. Stephen, you had 3. No, you were clean.
Hey, did you see the death look again?
Teryl, you were thrown, and your ums came very quickly and right at the beginning. 3 ums, 1 so. Rich, 1 so. That was it, just thrown in there. Julia, a double clutch and a hand. Gus, E.
Very nice.
Impersonation of our time.
What I did.
Madam General Evaluator, for the prepared speeches, we had Stacy. She had 7 minutes allowed, and she did it in 6.02. Bob and Jean, they had 6, 7, 8 minutes. Overall, it was 10 minutes and 20 seconds was used up. Then in his first presentation, Bob, he had 1 minute, he did 28 seconds. And Jean, you had 1 minute and you did 30 seconds, or 20 seconds, I'm sorry. In the next topic, then, Jean, you had 35 seconds, and Bob, you had 120. I think the R counter forgot to mention something. He had 25 Hillarys in here. That's $1 apiece.
How many Trumps?
Hey, no Trump. Anyways, on the next topic, Jean, 44 seconds. 44 seconds. He had 130, he had 44 seconds. Kerri had 1 minute, she did it in 30 seconds. Stephen had 1 minute, he did it in 1:55. And Cheryl, you did 1:17. And Rich, 1 minute and 8 seconds. Gus, general evaluator, you used 3 minutes and 3 seconds. And Kerri, 2 minutes and 15 seconds. That's my report. I hope I was not apathetic.
Oh, wow.
Pull the motion over there. All right, we're rounding up our technical table. How did we do from a grammarian point of view? Lori Richards.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I heard the word of the day used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times by Sam,
But who cares?
Julia, Gus, Marty, and Ernst. Marty, good way to use a different version of it. He used apathy, and he also slid in empathy. So he's pretty smart there. Only I was just confused the whole meeting, so I apologize. I don't have a lot. The only thing that I did notice was Sam, at the beginning you said Bob would have a chance to recant.
Yeah,
I think you meant rebut.
Rebut.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Recant is better.
Yes, Ernst would rather have you recant.
Shayne forgot to mention, nice job on the table topics, interesting questions. The whole meeting was quite interesting, so well done, Samuel.
Thank you.
I'm going to now pass the lectern and the gavel to our president, Ms. Lori Richards.
All the way up there for you.
Okay. All right, well, that was a great meeting. Thanks, Sam. It was interesting. I was sitting back there and I told Rich, I'm so glad I wasn't Jean or Bob, because the only thing I would be talking about is Gilligan's Island. I'm not a person to debate really intellectual issues. You want to talk about TV shows? I am good. I want to welcome back Lynn. Thanks for coming, Lynn. And are you going up to New York with Bob?
What's up, Bill? Thanks for him.
Dad and his son, eh?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it's good to have you back again. And Bob, good luck. Make sure somebody tapes it and we want to see it. That'd be awesome to see.
As long as Ernst isn't there.
And he's speaking on election night.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what Stephanie is saying, if there's a Toastmaster in the room, they can
Take your manual
evaluate
with
you.
Yeah, book, yeah.
And you can get credit for that speech.
Somehow I suspect if there was a Toastmaster in the room, they would have been looking around for someone else to speak.
Listen, wow, that was pretty low.
No, you say Toastmaster.
Not you, that they wouldn't have been trying to find somebody
Skill
at all.
set.
Oh.
What is skill set? Dang, Steve. You
You
can just announce yourself as Toastmaster.
So next week, November 15th, we need a Toastmaster. We have 3 scheduled speakers, Carmen, Julia Bucky, and Gus Davies. Table topics is Stacy, General Evaluator Ernst. Evaluators are Mike Hughes, Phyllis Harley, Marty Simon. I'll counter Shayne, Grammarian Teryl, and Timer Macarena. So anybody want to fill in as Toastmaster?
Do you really want me to do it again?
Yep, Mike should do that.
Yeah.
Mike should do that.
Not on public.
Yeah. You should be.
Okay, go ahead and redeem yourself, sir.
Okay. I will happily do it again.
You cannot leave now, so you'll be here ready for next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sam, you're gonna do Toastmaster?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
He wants to redeem
It's not
himself
redemption.
like some people.
Absolutely.
Felix
May I
or
speak
something.
for a second? since we have a little extra time?
Are you gonna read
No.
it?
No. No. I'm gonna speak anyway since you told me no. No. I'm gonna stand up for this. So, the reason in which we brought this forth today is exactly the response I'm getting right now. Because socially, we have been so put forth to be fixated in one form of belief or another. We're not willing to talk about the issues in which we believe. And if we're not willing to talk about those things in which we believe, then how can we stand up for anything at all, especially in a room full of intellectuals? I would like to thank you guys so much for going along with this today, because it was absolutely amazing the stuff that you were able to do up there. And I hope that each and every one of you are willing to do this, especially on election day. Talk about the people whom you are going to put literally as the leader of the world in some respects. If we cannot have a decent conversation at this, then we should be rethinking everything altogether. So thank you so much for participating in this. And I will not apologize for today's meeting. Thank you.
The next week, the 22nd, someone opted out that they would be away. Who was it, Marty?
Yes.
And I put my name in, but I would rather put Gene in so he can finish.
Well, I appreciate that, but one, I'm not in a huge rush about getting my
Yes,
seat.
you got
But also I'll be out that day.
You'll be. Well, Stephanie, Ethan, are you scheduled for your icebreaker?
Yeah.
Are you scheduled? Oh, you're already scheduled.
Because I
But
want.
We're good?
Kiss my
Yeah.
face.
Any other announcements?
Put Candido.
Candido, okay, so November 22nd?
Yeah.
Okay, so instead
I'll
of
see you all
Stephanie,
next
it's
year.
Candido.
Next year? You have too much?
Okay, any other announcements, any officers, if you have anything that needs to be ordered, I'm gonna place an order today, so remember you need to get that to me today. Okay, anything else? We're gonna get done a little early. Meeting adjourned. Make sure you vote. Oh, okay, wait, I uninjured, I take that back.
You recant.
I recant.
Yeah, straighten it.
Give me two.
Sam,
50-50.
hold on, Sam, jump in.
We got one.
$2 worth. Is it $3 or $2?
$2 for three.
3 for 2? Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, anybody else?
Stephanie.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, $10.
No, just stay off the corner.
How much?
Okay,
So you mean tax it on the way over?
What is it?
$2 for 3, $5
Take from the rich guy. Give it tax it.
Yeah, I want one, I want one.
Hey, Bob, why don't you buy tickets for somebody else so they can win too?
Yeah. That's what the Democrats are all about. Get it well.
Oh, you don't want to do that, huh?
No, no, I'm not.
You don't want to buy tickets for Bob?
There you go, anybody else?
You don't have change?
No, you have
$8 back.
All right, give that back to them and let me have the $2.
Oh, okay, so you write that $2.
I find it.
Oh.
And we can vote?
Anybody else?
Oh, it always is.
One.
She had me as soon as the light.
What kind of money is it?
Are we good?
Funny money.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. Here we go.
What are they playing for?
Yeah. Take it around, mix them up.
What's the pot, Julie?
Hold on a second. The pot is going. It'll be about $350 or $450
For the winner?
for the winner. Okay, $450.
Yeah.
$450 is the big pot.
Right.
All right.
That's your icebreaker, right there.
And the winner is 2301-566.
And me. Okay.
I love your snack money.
So did I win the big pot or just a little pot?
Half of the little pot.
You got the bigger of the little pot.
How much is it?
Okay, now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it.
Y'all have a great week.
No, I donated
If you
back to
didn't
the
vote, go vote.
Put it in the coffers.
Donated.
All right.
Right.
Oh,